Hello? Oh, no, wait. Wait, hello? Hold on. This isn't right. What is this? This is OpenSea Face. Nope. It's not OpenSea Face anymore. It is... Ba ba ba. This one. Oh, geez. Wait. 1 second. Hold on. How did I do the other captures? So how does OpenSea Face capture? Windows 10? Hold on. Aha! Now I'm huge. Alright. So disable this one. Actually, OpenSea Face, I guess I'll just yeet it, because it's not really used anymore. Oh, this means I'm going to have to update all my scenes as well. Wait, why did I... why did I delete it? I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Alright. Wait, hold on. Move it up. Yeah. Move it up. Rotate it down. It's a bit more inconvenient since I didn't actually properly re-implement all the hotkeys. Alright, which means that all of these are also kind of broken, probably. Well, actually, no. Wait, actually, yes. Wait, actually, no. What am I looking at? Oh, no, this is not actually being captured. Yeah, that's right. I'm dumb. So add display capture. Not display capture, window capture. Add the existing one, vpupper, source visible. Now we're huge. And we, hold on. Oh no. Now my OBS window is huge. Yeah. Definitely know what I'm doing, pro streamer. It's not like I've been doing this for like 2 years or whatever. Just kind of slide it over. Is this where I usually sit? No, I usually sit over here, don't I? Like kind of in front of that thing. Yeah. All right, which means that this is also broken, but we can just remove this one. Just give me window capture again, the same one. All right. Same verse, same as the first. Slap me there, ooh, and then just kind of hang out here in the corner. Yeah. Look at that. So then this looks okay. This looks okay. Cool. Anyways, I guess we're going to get started. I don't really have anything planned. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what I want to do today. What do I want to do today? I don't want to work on vpupper. I'm going to be honest. I just really do not want to. I don't really feel like working on a game either. Considering that I don't know. I want to work on something useless. What do I want to work on? It could be in Rust. I could work on my engine. I got distracted, by the way, earlier. Because I was answering a question in Discord. You know what? Let's do this. This is going to be kind of silly. But we're doing it. Well, I guess actually I really should work on this, huh? Alright. At least this is not vpupper. Bring me back to here. Oh, actually, I just realized I got like really small in the corner here. There we go. This one. Put me at about, I don't know. I guess that's fine. How big am I here? That's 772. This is, I don't actually know how to read this, but I guess this is also 772. So these are roughly the same size. No, that can't be true. See, in this scene, the duck looks way smaller than it does in this one. This one, it looks fairly sizable. Sizable duck. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I also need to update my bot. I still need to do that. I have a lot of things I need to do. So many things to do, not enough time. Let me see, stream notifications. You know what? I probably should actually finish my bot. Live, trying to figure out what to do. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't really want to work on GPM, but I guess I could work on GPM. It's not super complicated. It's not very hard. Yeah, you know what? I guess. I guess, sure. All right, now I just need to find a YouTube video to open up. Just so I don't die on the vine here. Losing my mind. All right, there we go. All right, cool. Working on package management. Kind of messed up my capitalization there, but it should be good. Although, eventually, one day, I'll update my bot. One day I'll update my bot. Yeah, right now there's only ping, and then I think you can roll some arbitrary value, maybe not, maybe it just exploded. Oh, hello Nero. Is my bot broken? No, maybe I just didn't push. It's possible. It's very likely. But yeah, how are you? How are you, Nero? Before you ask, I'm doing all right. Eyes are kind of frazzled. Brain is kind of frazzled from work. Man, this is what I'm working on. Look, this is neat. This is neat. You click on this, you get logs. These don't do anything. Well, this one gives you a confirmation message, and then these don't do anything. And these are like search stuff. Oh, finally finished the ads. I'm doing updating the website. Making bread. You're making bread? Nice. Are you making fancy bread or just like a loaf? Standard bread or fancy bread? I've made standard bread before. And I gotta tell you, it was tasty. But also I would never do it again. It's like too messy for how much I care. As somebody who will still eat like slightly moldy bread, I don't care enough. All right, let me pull this up. Let me actually split it here because this is actually what I'm going to be looking at. Yeah. Shokupan, some sort of Japanese style bread. Shokupan. I don't know what that is. Shokupan. That's Sokupan, but okay. Milk loaf. Oh, okay. It's milk bread. It's okay. So it's fancy bread. Fancy bread. Yeah. Oh. I find Asian breads. This isn't racist because I'm Asian, but I find Asian breads are just too sweet. Kind of freaks me out. It's like, like I'm eating bread. I like that it's sweet. If I'm just eating the slice by itself, that's fine. But if I'm like making a sandwich, like a ham and cheese sandwich, I do not want sweet bread. Just give me like Wonder Bread. I guess Wonder Bread is also pretty sweet. It's an art that takes time. Yeah, time, patience, and time. Once again. It's more than I care to deal with. Okay, so this is the package manager that I actually originally first wrote so that I could use it for vpupper. But then I was like, you know what? Something happened and then I just had to put it away. Now we're back to it. It was a bit strange. Croatian blood in me loves eating bread without anything on it, just plain bread. Sweet rolls are delicious. Yeah, maybe, if I'm bored. Which is a bad habit. It's a very bad habit to eat when you're bored. But I'll do it anyways. NPM, alright. What's the NPM API? Or actually, how did I even figure out the NPM API? Manifest format. Did I do this right? No, I didn't do this right. I'm dumb. Oh, actually, no, I'm not dumb. This is based off of BendN's GPM implementation. Which isn't quite correct. Well, I mean, it is correct, but it's also like not really that correct. When does he download? Yeah, I looked over this initially, but now it's the memory is not coming back to me. Registry.npmjs.org. Okay. So HTTPS registry.npmjs.org. Okay, so packages from manifest. Or I guess well, shouldn't this be like get manifest packages? If you never use the manifest by itself. So if I look at their stuff, do they ever use? Yeah, so this is get package file Godot. So it's used there and it's used. No, it's only used in one place. Why do you have two functions? It's a single use function. Single use function once again. All right, so you don't need this. I should have checked this before I started porting it. Get man packages. So we need some sort of net library. vpupper is a lot of firsts for me in terms of software dev. Well, you know, once you do something for the first time, you're pretty much an expert. Which is like, it sounds sarcastic, but that's, I mean, it's honestly kind of how that works. Right, because once you've seen something one time, you've seen it. It's pretty much the same every other time. Right. Which is variations on a theme after that. Right. And then, of course, once you go on to, you know, next projects, you can always look back on your previous stuff. Reference that. See what you did last time. Hopefully you did your own sort of retrospective. So you learn something from it, etc., etc. So I want all of these. And then that should be that response get package.json packages, or an empty thing. Okay. So that's pretty much it, yeah. Gets the package, gets all packages, all required packages for a given, all dependent packages for a given package, yeah. Oh, I'm better at IT, been debugging hardware and internet for years. I wouldn't really know. I don't really do networking all that much. I just run whatever they give me. And then hardware. Maybe I have the wrong mindset about hardware. Because hardware, for the most part, not too hard to debug as long as you have like an access log, right? So like our mainframe that we have to work with went down. Very confusing considering it's a mainframe that should never go down. But you know, you just check the access log, see that they did maintenance over the weekend on like the network sockets. So like we know that someone messed something up there. What exactly, I have no idea. All I know is that it's not my fault and they probably should not have been touching that stuff. Or e.g. Yeah. In my experience, whenever hardware goes down, we just replace it anyways. Hardware is cheap unless we're talking about graphics cards, but I don't do machine learning, so that's fine. Package version. Something like that. Turn dictionary containing actually, what the heck does what does this look like? So what was it? It was cdn JS deliver, so curl this thing, sorry, npm. And then what do my packages look like? npm JS. Go here. Oh, I don't have any personal packages, but I have everything under my organization. And then I should be able to pull this. Sometimes you win. At 1.0.1 package.json. And then just output it in the standard out. Oh, look at that. Okay. Well, see, this doesn't have any packages. Which things do have packages? What was bend-end stuff? I know that they had packages with dependent packages. I guess I can just look. So if I click on my user profile, that's me. And then I'm assuming bend-end is just bend-end. He's done it. All right, so remap. All right. Give me this, and we'll take a look. And that's 5.0. They're already on version 5? How? 5.0.5. Do you still want the slideshow to be the background of the landing page, or simply align with the rest of the page content below the buttons? Basically what I'm talking about, or what I was talking about regarding that. It's basically what this thing is in the background. Doesn't this used to scroll? You know what I'm talking about? Like some pages they have like a header, right? Maybe not a header, but like a header image that just kind of appears in the background. That's what I was talking about. But I believe that most places also just use their own libraries. Let me see. Game engine. No, it's not this one. Background image. Well, actually, I don't know. And then this one's also not a scroll, so who cares, but... yeah, that's what I was thinking about. So you still have all the most important information's at the very top, but then you also have some visual interest behind it. All right, do they have any packages? Which packages do they have? Or do they have any packages? Do a swipe detector. Do you have any packages? Is this your package? They have Stockfish. He's very aggressive with the version bumps. At 2.1.2. Nothing has packages. What does this do? What does this do? So he grabs the thing. Dependency, yeah. But then why do you get the manifest if you don't do anything with the manifest by itself? Right? Get package file, get, oh, actually this is exactly what I was looking at before. Yeah, but then what do you do? And then actually, look, this is... this is duplicated. I feel like I'm having an aneurysm. There's so much code that doesn't make sense, or it's redundant. Okay, I think I might just stop referencing this. Even though I ported most of it already. All right. So we get manifest and we just pass everything along, I guess. Why not? Package. Oh, sorry, package name. Sorry. Yeah, I guess. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. Anyways, what's the npm registry API? Registry API. Okay. What is this? Search. No query strings. Full text. Special search qualifiers. Response format? Eh. Oh, these aren't, okay. I thought it was just listing the ones that you're not supposed to put there. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Who does that? But no, this makes a lot more sense. So this is HTTPS registry npm js dot, is it .org? And then dash dot v1 slash search query string stockfish.gd. Nothing. Okay. Is this not the Well, that's actually pretty close. Full text search to apply. Stockfish. All right, I just need to be able to search from you. Or am I doing this wrong? Oh, I am doing this wrong. Text equals stockfish. Oh, geez, stockfish.gd. Okay, okay. Give me this. I'll just paste it into here. Wrapper around npm search functionality. Reference. Yeah, there we go. So give me a to-do here. I don't think I actually need this to-do. This isn't used anywhere. Question mark. Static func search. All right, and then we'll have just a few things. Let me think. Well, and actually, what did this even give me? Do I have JQ installed? No, I don't have JQ installed. All right, can I install a JQ? Scoop, install, scoop, search, JQ. I don't remember what JQ stands for. It's some sort of JSON query. Is that what it stands for, JSON query? Let me see. So text, size, whatever. Okay, so there is JQ. So scoop, install, JQ. Just let you pull that. All right, and then this will just be a dictionary of. Actually, it's not going to. No, it will be a dictionary full of. No, it should be an array. So it's an array of dictionary objects. Yeah, array of dictionary. All right, so we initialize our array, and then I do need to grab this thing, JQ. All right, JQ. I don't have man. All right. JSON query. Doesn't this usually give you command line JSON processor? Okay. Right, so JQ. Hooray! Okay. Oh, and also, can't you can pretty print this as well, right? Like, force colors into it, or no? Oh, colorize. That's right. Hooray! Oh god, I hate using JQ. Or I hate building my own JQ commands. I know how to read it when other people write it. Alright. Okay. I don't know what score means though. Okay. Okay. Okay, so grab this. So what do I need this for? Const search. Search path, I guess. Is that a URL or URI? And actually, isn't there a way you can get package stuff from here, right? So these are meta endpoints. We don't care about meta endpoints. But if I get this, so that's package. Okay. I think it's this. This is what you would search with or search for. Slap that in there. What do you got? Oh, geez. JQ. Okay. And then doesn't this gives you... Yeah, this gives you basically the entire package.json for everything, I think. More or less. So if I compare this to the JS deliver, I don't know, is bend end like a a JS deliver shill? I guess I'm not seeing what the point was of using it. Jesus. How many packages, how many updates do they have? That's crazy. Very update happy. All right. So that's that. So we'll keep this here so I can look at it. And then this one. Oh, did I not copy that? Paste it in, curl me. So npm slash something. Where is it? npm, then this is bent and stockfish.gd at, so that was 2.1.2. Yeah, that's the latest one. Then what else? JQ dot. Oh, wait, hold on. That's wrong. I just realized. Package.json. All right, so are these the same? Oh, it gets image to cover screen. Now the buttons don't work. Yeah. I think that was the problem I was also running into. Because it depends on where you place it and the draw order. Because the draw order also determines which things you can click on. Well, I don't remember if it does. Or sometimes it only stays in the little container, etc., etc. So you might have to keep making more and more changes to stuff. Okay, so this is, that's the 1.1 or 1.0. So where's the 2.1? Okay, here. So this is what I'm looking at, I think. Probably one of these. So I'm just going to look at this one, which is nice to look at, and this other one, which is making my eyes bleed. So that's pretty good. Scripts, repository, keywords, author, license, bugs, URL, homepage, and then everything else, which you don't really need. Yeah, okay. Why is this using JS Deliver? There's no reason to. You might as well just use the like the official ones, because you can just grab that stuff pretty easily out of the return response. So you don't have to use multiple services, because when you use multiple services, it means that you're more likely to you're more likely to run into, you know, dependency errors, because one dependency is down, and then one dependency is down, it then brings down the rest of your dependencies, right? And then that means that you need to check in two places instead of just the one place, right? It's a different situation, right? Because we're not running, these dependencies don't exist in parallel, they actually exist in sequence, which is very unfortunate. I think it's a completely different story if JS Deliver was like an alternative way to download packages, but it's not. It's a way that you're supposed to. It's what you're supposed to use when you're dynamically pulling in JavaScript libraries, which is actually what my severely out of date personal website does. All right, so here, so this is. So, All right, so this is the host. Oh, okay. And then you just need the appropriate format. All right, so what request did I send? So that's JS deliver. We don't care about JS deliver. This one's more important. So this is just that. So it's the actual package name and no version, because there's, oh, actually, no, you can specify a version. Like that. So, okay. So get with version formats. And then that needs to be formatted as well. Actually, like this. Yeah, that seems correct to me. Yeah, seems correct to me. And then this will give you this. So stockfish, but then I can also do 2.1.2, and I think that gives me something. Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I guess this is more like the contents of the package.json plus some other npm garbage. Whereas the one from JS Deliver is what you would get once you download the package. But like I just don't understand why you would use this and then pull this anyways. You might as well pull the entire thing, parse out what you need, and then you only need to send one request. Yeah, it's weird. Right, so that's get manifest, and then this won't have any packages under it. Or I wonder if the reason why they added this. Wait, hold on. Aren't there's some Unity packages that you can pull from npm as well, right? So npm JS. I think there's a few Unity things that you can pull. Unity. There we go. Okay, well, I guess I'll just look at whatever they're doing then. So that's 1, 2, whatever. Go there, then 1.2.0. .0. Okay, so what do they have? Yeah, look at that. Yeah. So you can just put arbitrary garbage in there and then it'll be fine. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. I think so. Was that in response to like Unity packages? Yes, I know that there are Unity packages on npm because that's what gave me the inspiration to try hosting Godot packages on npm. I wasn't sure if you could search for them, and actually you can't really. Unless they have Unity in the title or whatever, or the description. All right. So this is actually a bit better. Actually, no. Well, yes. This is get manifest. Yeah. All right. How about this? Might as well implement all parts of it. Get manifests. Just for completion's sake. It's equal awaits HTTP get request. So npm, and then this is just get format package name, and then we're looking for that should be fine, right? Excuse me. After function declaration. Oh, right here. All right, so that's fine. Should probably test this at some point. You know what? Let's just test it right now. It's not too hard, especially since I have this funny little test project here. So this is just get manifests, which means we don't provide a version, but then we can do this. Just run it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Pretty good. So there's only one version on there, which is why, no, there's only one version. But I think if I were to search for one of BendEnd's packages, so whatever package I was searching for before in this long terminal, I should get a lot of log spam. Okay, cool. Let's do the rest of the NPM stuff. And also, just for completeness' sake. Yeah, well, I guess it's not really get manifests, right? It's more just the format of the response is described in detail in the package metadata documentation. Package metadata. Well, I guess this is just, so this is get package metadata. That's more correct. Right? No. And then this is abbreviated. Which thing gives you this? When would you ever get this one? I don't know. That's package metadata, and then this is just get manifest. Okay. Get the pacument for the given package, because that's actually what it's called in the documentation. I think the term is kind of cringe though, but whatever. As the kids say. Package to search for. Namespace my package. All right. Package metadata. So just grab this and then we'll slap it into here. so it returns the pacuments. That's documented here. Gets the package.json file for an npm package. That's fine. Get manifest packages. This is actually entirely unused. To do unused. So just comment it out for now. Search. Yeah. Luckily, everything is just a GET request for whatever reason, which might be. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? Because gets, you don't expect anything to happen, right? When you send a GET request, whereas when you send a POST request, you might be creating a new resource, you might not be. I think POST is probably the most abused HTTP verb because you can use it for like anything, right? Well, actually, any of the HTTP verbs you can use for anything, but I think people tend to use get, put, and delete correctly, and then post, patch, and the other one. Post, patch, and head. Yeah, people tend to mess up. I've never seen anyone use patch before. I sometimes see head used if you're just querying. But I think things like GraphQL use post. My old job used post for everything in the pre-GraphQL days. So you would actually attach the real verb inside of your post, your post body. That's not the word you would use it. Payload, yeah. So this will give you back a dictionary. Oh, wait. All right, so this is, we're searching npm, search formats, and then we're looking for the Actually, what was this? This was a 200, right? Wait, how do you find the response code? I don't remember. I'm going to assume it's a 200. I guess what I can do is go into Postman. All right, give me this. Yeah, that's fine. Start with something new. Yeah, create new, please. I don't know. Is it a 200? It is a 200, okay. Remember using post in PHP for a MySQL server? You're posting you're posting to a server or a database directly? That sounds insecure. Don't do that. All right, search format. Oh, actually. So what terms? You have text size, from, quality, popularity, maintenance. I guess we'll just search for via text. That's fine. Although, how would you search for text if you have how do you search for text in a query string if you have spaces? Do you just need to convert that to a, I guess, a valid thingy? Where's my search? Search, please. All right, I'll just type it again. No, we're not. I'm guessing that I need to convert this to, what is it called? Just HTTP? HTML formatted string? String to HTML format. Yeah. So hello world. No, this is just HTML. What's it called? If it was, it's my first website in the college professor using post. Well, I think directly exposing your database to the internet is insecure. You should always, always, always have some sort of handler in front of your database, and then that handler will receive your requests and then verify your request. So if you pass along a security string, also known as a nonce, then that's good. So basically you would make a request to your web app, well, maybe not your web app, but your server will ping you back asking you to confirm it, usually with some sort of security string. And then you take that security string, pass it back to your server, and then your server actually does the database operation. Of course, there's that's like a really, really simple example, but that's the idea. That's the idea. Convert string. What is it called? HTML escapes? Yeah. Is it that? Escape, unescape? Is it not? HTML escape me. Unescape me. I know what I'm talking about. It's like the %20 thing that you usually see in query strings. I don't remember what it's called though. Yeah, it's one of these. Yeah, so ampersand. What's the space? Isn't it? It's ampersand %20? It's not percent. It's ampersand £20. No? What is it called? Which characters need to be escaped? Backspace. But how do you? What's the space? Query string space. Yeah, it's %20. I knew it. I knew it. It's %20. It's %20. Okay. I know things. I know things. Curl https dot npm dot js dot org slash dash version 1 dash search %. All right. Then I guess I can just look for one of mine. Verbal. Is it shifts? This one, yeah. %20 expressions. Really? Oh, right, because this doesn't exist. That's right. Oh, good. Is that not it? Oh, right. That's not how you do it. It's not %, it's query string. That's right. Okay, so that's invalid. This is also invalid. It should be searchable though. Verbal expressions. Nothing? Really? Verbal. Is that not what I called it? Verbal expressions, yeah. Or does this only search for like very, very specific strings? Yeah, because I'm assuming this is not going to be good enough. Yeah. But if I paste in the entire name, it should work. No. Wait, am I not searchable? Am I doing this wrong? Didn't I do this already? So this is for grabbing the actual package, but didn't I try this? No. These are just GET requests, so these don't matter. And then I already cleared this, so I can't see it. Probably shouldn't be doing this, but that's fine. Oh, do I really? Wait, no. Yeah. So I've done this before. So you can search like this. So that works. But then why doesn't... Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Okay. All right, there we go. It's a query string, but you also need to provide the keys. Yes, as always. Okay, so there's a few of them. So there's regex structure. Sure. Then there's verbal expressions. That's me. Readable regex p. And then there's just verbal expressions, which is the actual verbal expressions. Okay, this works. Yeah. There we go. So I guess we'll just search by text. That's fine. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty good. All right. So then we just grab everything under objects. No, it should be good enough, yeah. So this is return response get objects. Or otherwise, just return an empty array. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so search npm for a given package. I think it would be better to provide a builder pattern so that you could potentially search by text, search by size, from, quality, etc. But I'm not sure how I would make that work with this, considering that there's just one box and I don't really want to make it ultra fleshed out, ultra complicated. All right, so if we do, hold on. Await gpm.npm search, and then we're searching for verbal expressions, and then, oh, I see the problem. So if I just pass in a regular string, that's gonna break. So I actually need to convert this to a HTML encode. How do I HTML encode? HTML, that's color. Encode. Or URI encode. Yeah, so that's something I still don't actually understand. What's the difference between a URI and URL? So URI is Universal Resource Identifier, and then URL is Universal Resource Locator. But like, what's the difference? Do you identify a position in a location? Or is a location like an absolute path, whereas a URI may be relative or absolute? I don't know. I've never really thought about it. Well, I have thought about it, but I never really thought to look for the answer. All right, run me. So we just run this. This is my fancy runner, so I don't have to just do this every single time. So we open up the project settings, enable the plugin, and then disable the plugin just to get a little bit of print output. But yeah, that's pretty good. So this gives you all the stuff, and presumably they're all in order as well, which is cool. I think URL is relative as it asks the internet for a specific address and goes to the nearest match. Does it? That's not relative though. So then what would be absolute then? Yeah, because that is absolute. What you just described is absolute location. Well, what would be relative then? Right, because your browser does look for the nearest match, but it usually goes to one of the, I guess, lack of a better word, a signaling server, and then those servers say like, okay, you know, this address, you know, npm.js, npmjs.com, or https npmjs.com corresponds to this set of, you know, IP addresses, right? So it's possible to have two different versions of your website being served if, I guess, the data center that's actually handling the request has an old copy of it. I know that's why you generally, when you update like your site's CNAME, you need to wait a few minutes because you need to wait for it to propagate across, you know, the entire world, pretty much. The search term. That's automatically URI encoded. Return. So this returns an array of dictionary objects. RL specifies resource. URL specifies the location of a target stored on a local network computer. The target could be a file. Absolute URL contains all the information necessary to locate a resource. A relative URL locates a resource using an absolute URL as a starting point. Okay, but then that doesn't... So what is a URI then? What is a URI? See, that's the question, right? Because an absolute URL, right, would just be, you know, on Linux, like /home/ you know, UN. That's an absolute path, or potentially a relative path, depending on how you look at it. But yeah. So is it just like the format? So URI can never be. Is it just like all URIs are URLs, but not all URLs are URIs? Maybe, or maybe all. Did I get that backwards? I don't know. It's one of those. Anyways. We'll get rid of this. Yeah, so I guess all I need to look at then is their logic for... I only need to look at the logic for changing around the paths, because I know that that was one of the more complicated bits. Yeah. Seems that way? Yeah. But then, like, if it seems that way, where all URLs are URIs, but not all URIs are URLs, then what determines which one you use? Because it sounds like a URI is more specific. URI identifies a resource and differentiates from others by using a name, location, or both. URL identifies the web address or location of a unique resources. URI contains components like a scheme, authority, path, query. URI has similar components to a URI, but its authority consists of a domain name and port. What? So what's the difference? What's the difference? Are URIs always relative then? Is that basically it? Inquisitive minds want to know. Yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of this. This structure doesn't make any sense to me. Wanted packages? It's so complicated. And they also Well, they don't re-implement each other, so that's fine, I guess. Because wanted packages extends package list, but then since we only use it once, there's no reason to have it twice. Okay. So I think let's just get rid of this for now. So wanted packages and package list say goodbye. There's no reason to keep it around. We will keep around package because I think that's good. Uniform URL and so all URLs are URIs, but not all. Wait. Not all URIs are URLs. That's right. I've never seen URN used in the wild. That's for sure. Download directory, integrity. Don't really need the integrity, I think. Only thing you really need is I guess the NPM signature. Because that's the PGP signature that you can then verify against something else. Whereas the other signatures here, I think are just SHA-SUMs. I'm not sure how you would verify that. Oh, actually, no, these are... You don't use these, you're supposed to use this, and I don't remember what the integrity is, and I don't remember what the SHA-SUM is. I don't remember what they all do. URI is a super... Yeah, so all URIs are URLs, but not all URLs are URIs. Yeah. Download directory, version... I guess it might be good to have like major, minor, and patch just be accessible as like normal version stuff. Yeah. What do they do? Okay. Modify script loads. Script load, offset, regex. Seems complicated. And there's no reason to redo the regex every single time. See, this is also what I was telling them. I remember saying this, calling this out, that you don't need to recompile the regex every time. But I guess they did it anyways. Regex. So this should all be pre-compiled. So you only compile it once and then you just pass it around. So var offset. I don't know, what does offset mean? And also, what variable is this supposed to be? I'm assuming an integer. But Godot can just decide for you, which is very unfortunate. All right, so what is T? Where is this used? So this is under modify, which I also have here. Modify function, sure. And then this is used. There, modify function, call function, file contents. Okay, so they're just passing the file contents. File contents, some sort of string. And then they're also passing along the base directory. Something like that. All right, that makes sense to me. Current working directory, is that true? You know what, that might be true, yeah. Current working directory, that's pretty close. Then for m in regex search all. file contents. Is preload is equal to this is one of the matches strings. Can you do that? This seems like it's gonna break. An array of the match and its capturing group. What the heck? Oh, actually, there we go. And for once, an actually useful comment. Oh, hello, Ash Kaijin. Hello, how are you? Thank you very much for redeeming a hydrate. Good morning to you as well. Yeah, I guess I should also mention I've finally moved over to using VPupper. Even if the current version is a little scuffed, I just don't want to do it right now. I just want to do it right now. Oh, whoops. So grab all of this. Just missed a 5-minute Google search on URLs. It's a very informative thing. Good to know, I think. Raw access to Dex1 is safe here. Yeah, there we go. It's equal to pre. So, modify load. What is modify load? Oh, geez. What the heck? Modify load. No comments. So I'm just going to have to assume that this is modifying load. So modify load, they get a file handle. They check if the path exists, or if the current working directory plus the file exists. Okay. Okay. Certainly a question nobody thinks about except it anyway because it works. Yeah. It's just one of those things that kind of burns you occasionally because you'll be looking for like a URL replacement, but actually it's called URI replacements, which is very annoying. That gets me sometimes because URL and URI, once you type out the entire thing, it actually will sometimes break search engines, right? So like I'm pretty sure Godot's built-in thing will break, right? So yeah, you can't find the URI anything anymore, but you can. Yeah, URI encode decode. Yeah. Modify load. So what's the difference between script load and... Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. So modify load is the special one. Sure. So this takes in path. This is actually, the parameters are named wrong. What the heck? Who wrote this? Path? Path? Excuse me? Is it bend N? Yeah, no, I said like who wrote this. I know who wrote it. It was bend N. So I try really hard not to make this type of mistake because it burns me every single time when I look at it. So I look at it, I'm like, okay, that's the path. But now I'm looking back here, and that's absolutely not the path. It's something completely different. Like this is what it's. Is that the path? What the heck? Path? What is the number 2 thing? All right, I guess I just need the check. I just need the check. Okay. I'm trying to think though. Okay. I have no idea what this is actually giving me, so let's check. Var regex is regex new. I think something that a lot of new programmers are scared of is like making mistakes, which always blows my mind. Because like it's a computer, you're not gonna break anything unless you're a kernel programmer. But if you're doing kernel programming, you have bigger problems, and also like you need to do a lot more reading as opposed to what I'm doing, which is just, you know, not doing anything super difficult. Interpreted languages, you're very unlikely to brick your system. So there's your regex, and then we regex search all subject extends node const whatever preload some res path here dot gd. And then just a token ready function just because. Strip edges. Yeah, there we go. Then this gives you a thing for m in this thing. And then just print m. Yeah, there we go. So what does this give me? This is good. It's just gonna give me regex match. Why would you do this? Strings. So what is it? Okay, so their comments is actually incorrect, by the way. It's not group 1. There is no capture group, actually. Or there's no named capture group. I don't know why you would call it that. It's not a group. It's just the original search term. Right? Search all. Searches text for the compiled pattern, returns an array of regex matched containers for each non-overlapping result. If no results were found, an empty array will be returned instead. And yeah. And then strings gives you an array of the match and its capturing groups. Yeah, but like this isn't a capture group. Actually, no, that's the capture term. It's not the, Is this the capture group? Maybe I was slandering him. No, it's an anonymous group. Yes. Match and its capture group. Still looking at it. The entire match. The thing that you actually matched on. And then this is the contents of the group. It's not actually the group name. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. I still stand by my salt. It's the contents of the group. It's not the actual group. Because I think that's a bit too generic. Okay. So this is the group contents. It's not the group name. Huh. The entire match, pre-part, and then they group together. Yeah, okay. So preload, modify load. Hold on. So modify load, this takes probably like resource path, right? Some sort of string. And then it's current working directory, the resource path. What's F string? What's F string? Is that format string? What is F string? So it's used to F string? Oh, it's a format. Yeah, okay. So it is a format string, and then he is adding it together up here. I don't like that. And then he formats it here. That's fair. But then what do you... What? I feel like I'm going crazy. Is this readable? I look at this and my brain just goes like, this is word salad. This is not something that is meant to be read by the human brain. I can't make out the words here. From this line onwards until the end of the block, I can't read it. Var p string is equal to result unwrap. Sure. If p is an empty string, then we continue. And then what's t? Where did t come from? T is the text. T is text. This is the file contents. And then this is the t length. See, this is... I hate this. This is the worst. Don't ever do this. This gives you no information on what it is whatsoever. And it also doesn't have a starting value, so I also don't know what it is. Right? It's a bit different from, you know, I acknowledge I also use single letter identifiers sometimes. But as long as I always initialize them. This is uninitialized. This is potentially like, this could be anything. And then TL. You couldn't write like tlen, T length. Then this is inserts into the text contents. P was the format string. M, what's M? M is the match. M is the start plus the offset. Excuse me? Get start. Returns the starting position of the match within the source string. The starting position of capturing groups can be retrieved by providing its group number as an integer or as a string name if it's a name group. Default value is 0, refers to the whole pattern. Returns negative 1 if the group did not match or does not exist. Let's start plus your offset. Where does your offset? Okay, so that's your offset. That's right. Because you need to offset by the, yeah, the length. That's right. Plus the offset. Okay, so the offset makes sense to me. Offset is an offset. I'm surprised they didn't call it O. I think that would be more in line with what I would be expecting from this level of code. Trying to find the CSS properties for the landing page buttons, bringing those forward and keeping the slideshow on Z0. I think that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. All right, so there's your format string. And then is preload. And then this will give you back a variance, I guess. Because this could give you, well, actually, no. This could give you a lot of things. Well, let's just call it this right now. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is, in my opinion, the only acceptable time to use a single letter variable. But even then, I think a lot of people would say, like, don't do that. But here it's pre-initialized. So you always know what R is. It's initialized at the very start of the function. And then you return it at the very end of the function, which makes sense. Right, so there's no other place where it could come from. Okay, so here, current problem is that when slideshow is -1, the slideshow buttons won't interact, and Z1 covers the landing page buttons. That makes sense. Yeah, so yeah. Isn't the Z, yeah, Z is a property, right? So if I'm remembering correctly, all the CSS is self-contained in that file. Right, so here, themes, not themes. Actually, it is under themes. Assets, CSS. Oh, geez. It's not extended yet. Oh, it is extended. That's what I meant. Yeah. So you would just do something here, I think, right? So slideshow previous, slideshow next. And I don't remember. yeah. I think I just copy and pasted this stuff. Yeah, I just copy and pasted this one. Did not like me. Well, I mean, that's where you would do it, though. I'm not sure where else you would try to make that change. Replacements. So this is modify load. So we pass you our current working directory. And so this is just a style thing, but in my opinion, and actually in a lot of programming languages as well, is like the more constant the value, the earlier it should show up. And then I think people have multiple opinions about this. So some people prefer to have all your constant stuff at the front. Some people like to put all the constant stuff at the back as well. And I'm just realizing that I've also made the same mistake here. Well, actually, no, because file, yeah, I don't know. They're about roughly equivalent. I guess current working directory actually can change here depending on which directory you're in, but okay. I guess basically it's you go in order, right? So most variable to least variable, or least variable to most variable. So I prefer to go from least variable. So these regex doesn't change. Current working directory could change, I guess. File contents are almost certainly going to change. And I know that there's the other side of the coin, where people like to have the things that change the most early on, and then the constants go at the back because those don't really matter, right? So that's a philosophical question that I am not equipped to answer. And then you have psychos that just mix and match the two, which makes it impossible to read. Because there's no structure. There's no structure. So modify load. So the resource path is the m strings 2. Raw access, totally fine. Actually, no. Actually, yes. Actually, no. Actually, yes. It is 2 for this one. Format string. So it's going to be something. Something. Well, actually, you could just do it like this, right? So like preload like that. If is preload else. Yeah. See, why did they make it so complicated? You could just add it to both. And then it's just like automatically 100% more readable. All right. See a few arguments for modify load. So that's the format string and then is preload. Oh. Wait, but then why do you have... What is preload used for? Thinking. Oh, you don't need this at all. Yeah, there's no need for is preload. Wait, no, you do need is preload. But it's only used in one place. And then here, they do if wanted add-on in no scope config. What's a no scope config? I need Ben Den here. I have many questions about these variable names. What's a no scope config? Unscoped? No scope? Unscoped? Package unscoped name? Okay. Wanted formats. Or is that wanted file? That's almost certainly wanted file. See, they have format string, but then they have f string, but then wanted f, and the f means different things in both places. Is preload. Wanted add-on. What the heck? What the heck? Is preload. Does it matter? Yeah, actually, I don't think it matters. Like, you don't need to have this. You just need to have the format string, and then you can check everything else afterwards. Yeah, so modify load, but actually modify, does it write anything? No, it doesn't write anything. You're just using file to check if it exists, right? Yeah. And then if replacement is empty, return error. One of these, I guess. I guess it's invalid data, I guess. Have I been summoned? You have been summoned, Ben Den. I'm looking at your code. and I'm very confused. I'm piecing it together very slowly. But your abbreviations are making it very tough. And also why I've always kind of suspected that I might be dyslexic. So like, for example, this entire block here, I just cannot read it. My brain does not parse this. Like, I get it now after like talking it through to myself. Like, P comes from res. Res is a result that comes from modify load. Load is giving you a thing. T, what the heck is T? Oh, actually, no, this is different. T. Never mind, I'm looking at the wrong thing. It's confusing. It's inserting text, but what is P? P comes from modify load. Modify load gives you an F string, which is not to be confused with this wanted F. This is not file string. This is actually a format string. This is wanted file. And then this is just a completely different F. P is the preload. P is the preload? Wasn't it the modified load thing? And then this is TL, where T is text. That text comes from a file. Yes. And then it's TL, which in English expands to translated. But actually, in this instance, it stands for TLEN. Then here is just, there's too many single letters, so I'm struggling with reading it. I can't read it without saying it out loud. It's freaking me out. All right. Let me see. No scope config, and then there's also unscoped name. I'm assuming no scoped is the same as unscoped. SR? Serious? Oh, SRY, sorry. And it happens. I mean, I did approve it. I did approve it. It's the problem with... It's like, I don't know, this part just feels like this is what I would do if I wanted to make my code hard to read, is just use a lot of single letter variable names. You know, we're not writing Fortran here. We don't need to we don't need the save space. I'm trying to figure out what you're doing here now. If file access, file exists, current working directory. Actually, is that the current working directory? No, it's the resource path. Or file access, file exists, current working directory. Oh, and what did they changed this one. I know that they changed this one, but what did it change to? File. Get file, sure. Is file a file name? Path join. Path join. Path join. Path. Resource path. Job security. A toString function is a bit strange. It's supposed to conform where it's class res UID. Yeah, I was thinking about it. There's not really a huge reason why you would even need to look at the res UID though, right? Because it's a temporary object. Your actual resource lives on disk, so the toString function is more of like a debug tool. What else would you do with the toString function, I guess? Would you want to turn it into the actual package format in toString? I guess you could do that. No, I don't like the Godot class resource UID. It's kind of useless in my opinion. Like, yeah, like you have your UID, but then what are you going to do with it? I think you would rather just have like the UID accessible, right? Because you're not going to be pulling the UID from the toString function. That doesn't make any sense. It's class before I have package name add version. Yeah, isn't that's exactly what I have here, right? Oh no, we're crashing? Yeah, that's exactly what I have here. What you're describing, yeah, that's exactly what I have. I guess I'm confused. Unless you're talking about the initial version, in which case I just didn't have toString implemented at all, if that's what you're asking about. So of course it's going to use the default implementation, which is to give you the resource UID. Is relative is the resource path begins with dot. Sure. Well, you don't need this if you only have the one. If it's not relative, absolute to relative. Okay, so what is file utils here? So duplicate, push that up here so I can look for file utils. You added an indirect thing. There is no indirect. Yeah, well, no, it's describing the idea of this is a direct dependency, whereas this is an indirect dependency, which should not be manually interacted with. You should not be interacting with indirect dependencies at all, basically. Right? Because it's indirect. You're not supposed to touch it. That's the entire point. Just like there's internal Godot classes you're not supposed to touch, but you can still kind of touch them if you want. Like I'm pretty sure in older versions of Godot 3.5, you could actually instantiate the underscore file class because that was accidentally exposed. But you could still do it. And I'm pretty sure some errors actually use those underscore built-in classes as well. But basically, you're not supposed to touch them. That's the idea. So you're looking for indirect, it's not there. Because the user's not supposed to touch it. Because that'll mess up a bunch of stuff. File utils. So this is absolute to relative. Do I still have file utils or did I get rid of that? No, that's still here. So say bytes, absolute to relative. Oh, absolute to relative. It's coming back to me. This one was kind of weird as well. So what's common and uncommon here? I had to make a few guesses. So like common is your current working directory, but what the heck is uncommon? Remove starts of your path and you take out common, sure, but then what is that? Then it's just, I called it a floating path because that's what that basically is. It's a relative path, I guess. But uncommon doesn't make any sense. It's and even calling it common doesn't make any sense either. Like common? Not common? Is it supposed to be common and not common? But then what does common mean? I don't know. I don't understand. Anyways. I think what I have probably makes sense. Absolute to relative. I do have a to-do here. I'm not really, yeah, and I even said basically what I said out loud right now. I'm actually not really able to follow the Godot 3 implementation. It's too confusing. It's the common area between two paths. So A, B, C, and A, B, D have A, B in common. Then what's uncommon? Is C and D are the uncommon? So it would be the not common parts, not uncommon. I guess it's technically grammatically correct, but like conversationally, it's really hard to understand. Because I guess technically it's uncommon. They're not in common, but that's not really what uncommon is. That's not how you use uncommon. Absolute to relative. Anyways, we'll just pull this in anyways. And just make sure that or try to make sure I don't accidentally override anything I shouldn't. Or actually, this should be under file utils now I'm thinking about it, right? So you would pass in your package stuff to your file util, and then your file util will do all that stuff for you. Yeah, that makes more sense. Like package doesn't, you shouldn't have like most of this stuff, right? You would mostly, like what would you need on your package stuff? Like package, you need to have like download, sure, that's a good one. Depend. Should download, that's also pretty good. Get tarball. What is this npm search thing? So npm search is npm search. I guess how are you, where did you see the npm search thing? That wasn't on screen at all. But yeah, the npm search thing. So if you just use this request, top left. Oh yeah, there we go. You did. It is just there in the top left. Yeah. So that's the command that you would use. It does need to be URI encoded, URL encoded, URI encoded. Yeah, I think you also don't need to use the JS deliver thing. I mean, just searching the registry also gives you the same thing. So that's what I'm changing it to, because it's cleaner as well, in my opinion, because you don't have two dependencies, you only have the one dependency. Because you always need to call this, you always need to hit this endpoint anyways, right? Godot has that built in, so that's simple, right? Searching? No. So this, I mean, this is what it looks like right now, right? So you load it in, it's gonna print something, that's fine, right? And then you would do your search there, right? Based off of some sort of debounce timer, right? But right now it's not implemented because I'm still trying to get the rest of it down. Godot has no URL encoding. I beg to differ because I have used it literally just now. Yeah, so it's search term URI encode. It's not URL, it's URI. Very very common mistake to make. I've also made it in this same session. Looking for URL encode, but it's actually just URI encode. Which turns it turns spaces into the normal stuff, I guess. Right. So here we do search verbal expressions with a space in it. So that's an invalid URL query string. But then here we can see that I did indeed actually search, and it was successful and gave me some results. Oh, I got that mixed up. Yeah, there we go. I thought I read that as Godot has no URL encoding, but no, it's no Godot has URL encoding. Okay, never mind then. Disregard my rant. Anyways, file util. File utils. Absolute to relative. Yeah, I think it feels like these should actually be in file utils. So like normalize paths. So normalize paths. And so you need to have the base directory. You need to have, well, you don't really need to have the base directory. You just need to have resource path. which is a string. And then you have here, no, that's it, yeah. Current working directory. I guess you could, yeah, never mind. You can pass in the current working directory. But then the resource path is completely different. Normalized paths. And so there's two things that you potentially need to call. It's either script loads or TRES loads. Are you going to add README support on Markdown converter and stuff? Nope. It's annoying that BB code images can't download. BB code images? Which things have BB code images? Yeah, I think README support unlikely. I think what I'm going to do, so if you look at the output here, right, you have things like the name, you have the version, you have the description, right? And then presumably you would also have the author, question mark. Is there an author here? I don't remember. And then after that, then you would, you know, you click on it, do some option stuff, and it'll add it to your path, right? And that's directly addressing one of the issues that someone opened, because I think it's very doable. Why not? Maintainers? Yeah. What's the BB code image? BB code images can't download, and yeah, that's the. What's that? Image res. Or are you talking about the where they loaded in from their own thing? Okay, yeah. So the plugin has their own icon, is what you're saying, and then you want to be able to display that. I guess that could work, yeah. It shouldn't be too difficult, I guess. Maybe famous famous last words. Yeah, I think these are a better fit here. Normalize scripts. And then this has, what would you want to take here? So normalize paths for a given current working directory and a resource path. And then for a script load, you would have the current working directory and then the, I guess the content, script content. Typing more stuff is harder in the short term, but when you come back to it after forever, it's easier to just read. Which is why I'm displeased about all the single letter things. Are you changing modify to normalize? Because you are kind of normalizing it, right? You're not, like, modify doesn't really describe anything. Like, yeah, you're modifying it, but like, how are you modifying? Modify paths, but what are we modifying it on? Or why are we modifying it? If you're normalizing it, okay, so you're normalizing it. It's still not great, to be fair, but I think modify is a bit too vague, whereas normalize means like you're trying to make it normal. So normal to what? No, that's a better question. What is normal? It's a bit too philosophical for all of us, though. Right? Because modify doesn't tell you like how you're modifying it. Normalize, you are modifying it. Because in order to normalize something, you must modify something. But then it carries the additional meaning, like you're trying to make it more in line with everything else, right? So you're modifying it to be more normal. Whereas modify is just modify, right? It's the nuance in the word. Because these are functions that are doing very specific things. Unless you have a better word for it, right? Yeah, you do use a lot of single letters. You use a ton of single letters. which is, it's hard. For me personally, I can't do it. The only single letter I like to use is R, but then even then I always define it at the top. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a better word than normalize for this? I couldn't think of one. But I think modify doesn't have enough context. That's basically it. So normalize paths. So you'll potentially have... Actually, can't you... Oh, no, I'm pretty sure you can't, because this would be more of a static, right? So, script loads. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do this. Right, this is going to give you an error. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Okay, so what I can do... So pass in the regex here. So regex, pass in the regex here, so we only have to compile it once, because I'm not aware of Godot allowing you to cache regex thingies. I'm pretty sure they're not cached. What's an R? Result. Fix paths? You know what? Fix paths? That's actually pretty good. That's much better. Fix paths. You can define it as a variable at the top. No. Because you can't access normal variables from a static function. I forgot to make it static. Does that make it easier? Yeah, so we'll just pass along the regex. I think the offsets thing makes a lot of sense, for sure. Always makes me a bit nervous to not specify if it's an int or float. I think Godot has kind of a bad track record with that. Because I think the... I think Godot has a bad track record with figuring out if things are integers or floats. Fix T-res. All right, and then I guess this is more like fix script. A single letter. Where? R. I like to use R. That's for return value. I think I used to use just call it return value, but as long as you define it at the top, I don't really care. If you define it in the middle of your script, I start to get, or as a parameter, I start to freak out. Bar offset. Or pass along the regex to you, or we can just give you both regexes. That's fine as well. So this is script regex T-res regex, and we'll just use the same ones every time. Like so. Nope, not this one. Made it an n variable for a second, then you deleted it. Did I? I think I might have just typed n. Or I think if we're talking about like counter variables, I also like to use single letters sometimes, like, you know, I, J, K. Those are pretty good. Big fan of those. Actually, you can just use the same thing for both of these, right? Yeah. And then it's just the actual thing that you're searching against that changes. Right? No. Right, because yeah. So it's the big thing that changes between these two things is the format string that you're returning. Otherwise, they're more or less like the same thing. Yeah. IJK XYZ. I don't like to use X, Y, and Z. I do use IJK. IJK because everyone uses IJK, and also you can kind of reliably assume that IJK are being used as counter variables. So if you're counting up or counting down, you use IJK. And then after that, then that's, you know, I think you need to use a more descriptive identifier, because then you're going into like 4 dimensions, which is crazy. All right, fix script. So modify load here takes a format string. So we can pass along a format string as well. Format string, and then the format string is, oh no. Let's just think about it for now. For m in regex search all from the script content. And then what is modify load doing? It's trying to search for if. Yeah, they're the same. Yeah. But X, Y, and Z I don't like to use as variables, right? Because those already have like a very specific meaning in terms of like positioning, right? File exists. A, B, C are strings. You're left now. Yeah, well, I'm on the left. I'm usually on the right here, but on vertical screen, I moved myself over to the left because it was too hard to see what was on the vertical screen. So a file exists. And then you're actually passing in the m strings to or file access, file exists, join, or path join. Found it's matched path. It's an m strings, and then this one I'm pretty sure based off of your regex you should, this is a safe thing to do, just kind of blindly access the second index. Vertical screen is not really readable as is. Yeah, I think a lot of things are just kind of hard to read, but I think what most people are for anyway, like if you're looking at a programming stream, you're not really like looking at the text unless it's like a tutorial, I suppose. I don't really do tutorials though. My understanding of a lot of things is a bit loose. Maybe a bit too heavily reliant on intuition. Right, because the majority of the time, like how I learn how to program is just failing over and over and over again. Right, but I get it. Like people don't like that. People don't like to make mistakes. So whatever. If matched path begins with do M or N. Yeah, it's safe. I'm looking at the text. Oh, you're in for a bad time. It's not going to be super readable. I think it used to be more readable back when I didn't have a 4K monitor. But now that I do have a 4K monitor, and what's all I guess even makes it even worse is that I still have pretty good vision. So I prefer to see more things than less things. So if match path If this does not start with this, then relative path is equal to absolute to relative path. So where does this path come from? That's the matched path. My current working directory. Yeah, something like that. What's your problem? Unable to iterate on an object of type. Oh, search all, not just search. That's right, that's right. IMO failure is the only problem when something can physically break stuff? Yeah. I think that's also the way I see it as well. But unfortunately, most people don't see it that way. The majority of people hate failure, which is really strange because you always kind of hear, at least in the US, that like, you know, well, one, failure is not an option, but two, like, yeah, you need to learn from your mistakes, which is a dichotomy that most people cannot resolve themselves. The length of the original path is greater than the length of the relative path, then you pass along the if matched path length is greater than the relative path dot length, which is good, I think. I guess that's good. We'll return a string for now. Because I feel like there's a few redundancies that I've found in the code as well. Or maybe not redundancies, but things that don't make a lot of sense. Or return an empty string. Don't even use R. We don't need this. Right, because then we can just return the relative path plus a potential format string, or just pass in the format string. Just use it directly here. Okay. Don't fail ever, but if you do fail, don't fail ever again. Don't ever fail again, I should say. Okay. True, that's true. F string, format string, not file string. Preload if m strings 1 begins with pre, else relative path? Yeah. Okay. And then afterwards, then it's just a nothing? Isn't that wrong? File exists, if you just return OK with an empty string, doesn't that just mean nothing? Because then it's, oh, if it's empty, then you just continue. Okay. Otherwise, what do you do? Matched path is equal to matched path strip or trim prefix. Isn't it trim prefix does what I think it does? Yeah. There we go. Godot 4 master keeps address boundarying. What does that mean? Address boundarying? Are you running out of usable addresses on your system? Doesn't that mean that you set up your containers incorrectly, actually? If you're starting to run into address space problems? This happened to my team because they did not understand how to enable, was it rootless podman? Because or even if you're just setting up podman or Docker, whatever, normally, you do need to allocate, I guess they're not addresses, but they're IDs, right? So you're not supposed to make the ID sequential. Like a user ID, you're supposed to reserve IDs and like a 20, you need to reserve 25,000 IDs for Docker to work. Something like that. Is that what you're talking about? Split is matched path. Splits on this thing. I think you do need to do this. If split size is less than 2, then don't do anything. Wanted add-on. Wanted add-on is the split 1. No address boundary errors, aka Godot bugs out. What's an address boundary error? I'm not familiar. Boundary error? Yeah. Does that mean that you're trying to access memory you're not supposed to be trying to access? Yeah, segfault, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense, yeah. When did you build your Godot? Because I built it, I don't know. When did I build this? I built this at, I don't know. I think these are in GMT time. So whatever this is converted to Eastern time. Today? I also built it today. I don't know. What times are these? I built this like in the afternoon my time. Like around 3 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know. So this is a pool or packed string array consisting of, what the heck? Eh? Or actually, and you're supposed to do it like this now, right? So you do join. Yeah, you do joins the Python way now. Yeah. So join split slice to split size -1. Basically to the end of the split. Or you're not allowed to just slice it to the end like that? No, yeah, you totally can just go to the end, right? Or what? And it also says that like this is available as a convenience function, but that's just weird to me. Let's just slice it like that. Today you're at 6A9. I'm at What am I at? I'm at 240. Actually, no, yeah, no, we are at the same one, yeah. FAB992. FAB992, yep. We are at the same commit, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah. That's where my head is at. FAB992. Windows. Big W for Windows this time, I guess. Doing 3D stuff, so there must be something going on there. Yeah, the 3D in Godot 4 is making me nervous. Because it looks like there's a lot of problems from what I can tell. Like, you know, they removed all of the, like, the skeleton refactoring stuff they were doing. And so now instead of having, like, fancy new IK for 3D, now you just have the Godot 3 IK, basically. Package independencies, package unscoped. What is this? What the heck? So if wanted add-on in no scope configure. Yeah. And actually, how does in work on dictionaries? Is it based off of the keys? I guess it is based off of the keys. Ren got his model to work. So it does work in GD4. Did he post in the Discord? Should I check? So if the model works in GD4, then that's fantastic. Godot 4. Oh, baby. Okay, look at that. Look at that. So Godot 4 fixes the flickering. So it is a Godot 3 issue, but I don't have access to that. Or rather, I don't have the expertise to fix that. So wanted add-on. So why is this being converted to a relative path as well? When would this be used? When does the second part get called? Yeah, I guess I don't get the second part. Move some scenes around stuff. It goes, oh crap, can't say resource. I also can't use most 3.x shaders. Yeah, I don't think you can use most 3.x because there have been quite a few shading language changes. Yeah. By the way, Ben and if you're still there, what does this part do? Like what is this supposed to be for? Because I'm still not getting it either. So it looks inside all of the packages, gets the unscoped name, sure. But then when would this ever be called? Because the format string doesn't match up. I guess I'm not seeing a part where this would be valid, I guess. Right, because this is more for... Yeah, this is for loading files. Or unless these are internal. Is this for internal resources? I don't get it. Is this for internal resources? But then that shouldn't matter anyways, but maybe it does. But shouldn't that all be just contained within modified like text resource loads then? Because that's only for text resources and scripts don't use those kind of paths. Or maybe they do, I don't know. Add-ons get saved to test instead of... But what do you mean? They get saved the test instead of scoped test. I guess I'm not understanding. Are you saying that they don't exist? Do they not exist? If they don't exist, how are you even finding the path? And how are you even pulling the text? Please zoom in. Okay, we'll zoom in a bit more. What is this? What is this bit? Pretty much everything. The second half of the function I don't really get. I will give you a little time to read it while I go refill my drink. We'll even move it like this. So it's even more zoomed in. I'll be right back. I will not use my AFK scene because I know that displays text in front of you. Or rather, even better, I'll just link it, I guess. Because this is still the master branch. Yeah, this part until the end of the function doesn't make a ton of sense. But I'll be right back. Now that I've started moving again, I'm going to mute myself real quick. Okay, hello, I'm back. I failed clicking the unmute button twice. All right, we're back. So it takes a res add-ons test path and deduces that you want the test add-on. Test.txt, yeah, file name. If we have the add-on installed, then adds the download directory for the add-on to the test text. Oh, my drink is still over there. Then number adds a download directory for the add-on to the test text. And then if making it relative results in shorter text, then it returns the results. Huh? What? So if you have a test.txt and a folder in your add-ons folder. So add-ons test text. Then it checks if you have the add-on installed. Then adds the download directory for the add-on to the test text. What? See, that doesn't... Why would you want that? Yeah, but like, wouldn't it? It would already be. You already have the full path, right? Like we're always working off of the full path or the res path at the very least, right? So you should never. Yeah. What? What is? Huh? What is it? What does it do? Or yeah, like why would you need this? I guess. Because if you have it downloaded, you'll always have it downloaded. This is yeah, it's modifying the code of an add-on, but this modifies the code of the add-on already. The add-on thinks its add-on is in add-ons test, okay? It has been moved to add-on GPM deps test, yes. Oh, this is for the indirects. Okay, this is for the indirects. I gotcha. Okay, so this handles indirects. Well, this handles its own dependencies, I think. Yes. The path already exists, then that works. It handles any package. Okay. Couldn't you just make an assumption that if it can't find it the first time, then it must be an indirect? And then you can just check the indirect directory to see if the indirect works, or if the indirect exists. And then if the indirect exists, then you just use that. You don't need to do this this dependency thing. Right, because if it doesn't, can't you just check two paths? You can either check the add-on path, or you can check the GPM deps path. And if it doesn't exist in either of those two paths, then it must not exist, therefore it's an error. If you can make it work, do whatever, okay. Well, at least now I know what it's doing, right? So it's basically like, add-ons own resources, and then this handles indirect resources. So something like that. We don't want to touch other people's dependencies. I mean, you do have to touch other people's dependencies though, right? Isn't that the entire point? Is that we change everything. Everything gets changed basically to work, because we're pushing them into paths where they shouldn't be. Yeah, I think the offset part makes more sense to me. What if GPM deps test has version 1 and 2? How do you know which version to get? Then you have to go back and look at the dependencies. Well, aren't they being placed under, so if you have a file, say, or if you have not like this. If you have a dependency structure that looks like, like my logger depends on test. We'll call it logger, right? Logger doesn't really matter, but we have test at version 1, right? And then we have, I don't know, some sort of finite state machine at 1.0, and then it has test at 2, right? I don't know why I'm doing semver. It doesn't matter in this instance. Right, so if you have logger that depends on test 1, and FSM, finite state machine, that depends on test 2, right? What you would expect is a directory structure, a file structure that looks like, so you have add-ons, right? And then under add-ons, you would have GPM deps, and under GPM deps, you would have test, and then under test, you would have, 1, and then that contains code, right? And then 2, and that contains code. And then you would have under add-ons once again, then you have logger, and then logger has some sort of code, right? We don't care what's inside of it. And then FSM has some sort of code. Also do not care. But logger is reconfigured to look for test1, and FSM is reconfigured to look for test2. Right? So you still have add-ons logger, add-ons FSM. But then for your indirect dependency of test at version 1, test version 2, right? That goes under add-ons, GPM deps, test, and then those are further subdivided by version, right? Or is that not how you understood it? In which case, the think about it, right? That's what you have, no? Guess I need to. That is how it works. Okay. So we're on the same page then. That's good. So I'm still looking at this then. Do I still have this open? So what does this do? Okay. Let's move that back up there. So match path, trim prefixes. Then we split it. And then whenever we call fix script or fix resource. I gotta think about this then. So if it's an indirect resource and we're looking at a resource like this, right? So say we're looking for script GD, that we're working off of script GD, script content. Well, this is also script content, so you would also need to have the full path here as well. Right, fix scripts. Where did I put it? Normalize? Where did I put it? Fix paths? Or potentially I could just have all this here. Now I'm thinking. So that's what this is doing, right? So what this is doing is it's either making these relative or it's making these relative and then also adjusting the entire thing. Give me this bit. 'Cause this is very important to have. Group contents. Might be easier to ditch the relativism. It might be, yeah. It might be. Because I guess if we're already adjusting all the paths anyways. But then you do need to know what the full path is. So how do I know what the full path is? I'm thinking. Bring it back to here. Where is it? And absolute to relative, I'm still not convinced I'm totally correct. Fix paths. Okay. So let's change this to add-on directory. So this is a string. I think that makes sense. And then we'll just iterate through the entire directory. Right? So that's your res directory. File utils. So let's just pull in the directory utils, whatever. Oh, right. Oh, but actually you can't access those things, right? Enter utils. Yeah. Can print the values in absolute to relative? Yeah. I guess I'm a little confused at this point in time. All right, fix script path. Res path, and the only reason why these need to be different is that the regexes are different. All right, I think I'm just gonna go with my own implementation because I still can't understand this. I'm sure it made sense at the time, but All right, we'll keep this stuff here for now. But fix script path. This is just a path. This is the one of these. You'll pass in your regex, so we reuse all of them. And then, given a path, and I'm still looking at the script loads parts. So you're your regex, that's fine. Give me the offset here. And then for m in regex search, or sorry, not var, for m in regex search all. And then we do need to grab the contents from that thing. Actually, it doesn't file access get file as string. Okay, yeah. So this doesn't need to exist. It's already done. All right, and then these are all the same as well. Yeah, the offset makes sense for sure. Search all, file access, get file as string. And then the big change is just what we're passing in. So once again, I can just make this one function, but for now, let's slow our roll. Has built-in absolute to relative? It might. I don't know. What does string have? Binary to int. Rel. Is relative path. Is relative path. Absolute. Is absolute path. I don't really see one, but I guess maybe it's under file access. Possibly. I don't think it's under OS. I would be surprised So there's absolute. Is absolute path. Sure, sure, sure. Oh, okay. Well, no. These are directory utils. Or directory methods. It's not really... Yeah, it's not what you want. And then get path. Oh, wait, hold on. I saw that. Wait. No, that was my own function. Absolute to relative. Yeah, that's my thing. Sorry. Here's a bash function. I'm familiar, more or less, with converting absolute to relative. I'm just trying to erase I'm trying to erase this implementation, the previous implementation from my brain. So I'm currently just stun locked. I like the regex. The regex is good. Yeah, make this file path. That makes more sense. More descriptive. And then this is the matched path is equal to m strings, and then that was 2. Whereas for this one, you're actually taking 1. You can run it with X? No. God, I've had enough of bash as well. I write too much bash at work, mostly because the Linux server, the RHEL server that we have access to, doesn't expose a Python interpreter. Like, there is a Python interpreter on there, but it's not on the system path or any user path, and it's also not exposed like anywhere. And I guess I just don't have permissions to access the interpreter anyhow. So instead, we just have to write bash, and I hate it so much. Why no? I don't want to run bash. And also because, you know, Windows exists. You might have heard of Windows before. It's kind of a popular platform, starting to rise in popularity. Might not have heard of it. So you can't rely on bash existing. And also, like, I think when Windows executes, it doesn't use it uses CMD unless you specifically call out bash, but I don't remember if I even have bash on my path. Do I have bash? Oh, I do have bash. Look at that. Oh, how did I get into here? When it actually sent me into bash in CMD. Well, the more you know. I do have bash on my path. That's weird. This never really happened before. Let me see. One day I'll update my bot. Or I'll finish updating my bot. Yeah, no, there's a problem with the bot, which is why most of the commands are not implemented in Twitch chat, because it causes a spin lock, or it has a spin lock, I think. It has a read-write lock, which I assume is a spin lock. But then it just keeps spinning because it's being locked by 3 different threads. And so then it just hangs. So I need to rethink how I'm sharing the config file across the 2 bots plus the controller node. Write bash to download Python and use Python. Yeah, I think that would get me fired. I would lose my job if I just downloaded a binary. Yeah, I think 1, I would get fired, and 2, if I actually made it work, I think I might be liable for damages. Because then that would mean that I somehow bypassed a bank, every single firewall that a bank has. So I think that might be a federal crime. if I remember correctly. By bypassing critical infrastructure is a federal crime in the US, which is even worse than a state crime. But it does mean that you get to go to federal prison, which I've heard is better than state prison. So, you know, you have your upsides, you have your downsides. Downside, federal crimes definitely will look worse on your record. On the bright side, once you're sentenced, you get to go to a nicer federal prison. Because federal prisons are not for profit, if I remember correctly. So you are not liable, or I guess you're still liable for your crime, but the prison's is less likely to kill you, let's say that. Slideshow HTML to see if I can change the onClink event to auto scroll. Doesn't it automatically auto scroll? Isn't that what I wrote anyways? Hold on. Bring me here. Nope. Yeah, I like prison, federal crime. Well, if you want to like be convicted of a federal crime, all you need to do is go to the US Capitol and then make a threat against the current sitting president. maybe hold a gun in the vicinity of the I'm not saying that you should do this, but I'm pretty sure if you just hold a rifle in front of the White House, you will be sent to federal prison pretty quick. And since it's the US, it's pretty easy. Pretty easy to find a weapon. Is it this one? Man, it's been a while since I've looked at this. Slideshow. Yeah. But then doesn't this automatically do it? Where did I put the JS? I'm pretty sure I wrote the JS in line, which is not great. Is it here? Is it index? Look at that. It looks pretty good. It's not this one. Oh, it is this one, isn't it? Is home, header, post description, index profile.html, which is under partials, index profile.html. Is there no JS here? Maybe I didn't do that. Isn't there JS here? Maybe I didn't. Yeah, there is JS somewhere, right? How'd it go? Catan time? Settlers of Catan, great game, great game. Is it not here? Is it under templates? No, it's not under templates. I've done this before. Is it under, it's under head. No, it's under head, isn't it? And then this is just added to a bunch of things. No, it's not this one. I know I put it somewhere. I know I put it somewhere. Where is it? Because plus slides is a JavaScript function. It can't just exist by itself. It doesn't make any sense. It is not here, apparently. I know I wrote this. I remember writing this and then being very confused as to how to fit it into PaperMod. It's not templates, I know that. Shortcodes, no. Didn't I write a thing? Like a write-up? Where is it? I swear I remember writing this up. Hold on, I can just search for it. I can search for it. So repupper, paper mod. Yeah, I knew I wrote it. Yeah, it's here. Okay, so I guess it doesn't. That's right. But this is where it is. Okay. Well, I guess if you wanted to auto scroll, then what you would do, I guess you would just need to have like a timer, and then that's like a JavaScript thing to just set up a timer. Yeah. And then the reason why, by the way, that you use const and you use an arrow function like this is because JavaScript functions, I found out JavaScript functions are not hoisted, whereas variables are hoisted. So, you know, 10 out of 10 language. Love it. Pretty good. Love it, fix it, welcome to JS. I think like good JS is not horrible, right? Like as long as you are reasonably organized, you keep it clean. Like I think this is pretty clean, right? So on load, it shows slides at the slide index. And then this one, you know, plus slides. I guess plus slides is a bit of a misnomer, considering that we plus -1 here, but you know. You could minus slides and just do it in the other direction. That's fine. Yeah, I mean this is clean in my opinion. Except for this bit, but there's not too much you can do about that. That's just kind of JS for you. Yeah, I think actually I was reading up on it, and this actually should not be in head. This should actually be in the body, because head is always done before the rest of the body is instantiated. Whereas if you put your script in body, then or at the bottom of body, then your script runs after the body is instantiated. So you don't need to have on load here, something like that. It's one of those gotchas that I didn't realize was a thing until I looked more into it. Oh, okay, that makes sense. File access, file exists, matched path. Or file exists, actually hold on. So we can get the base directory like this, right? So var base directory is equal to file path replace file path. I think I do need to have a test thing here. Okay, so let's just do the npm stuff for now then, because that's easier for me to reason about. I'm told to render JS in the footer so the site loads before. Yeah. So in the body or in the footer, it doesn't really matter. They're all kind of the same thing. But yeah, so you can put it in the body, you can put it in the footer. I think most things, I don't know, does GitHub even have a footer? Yeah, see, GitHub doesn't even use a footer. Oh, actually, it does use a footer. It's just in a weird place. Actually, what the heck? Their footer is inside their body. Yeah? Maybe it's not actually a footer? Like your header is not part of the body. Yeah. But for whatever reason, their footer is in the body? What? That's not how that works. I mean, I'll let you do it, but that's not really how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, where the heck is their... Yeah, they have a footer here, but that's not really right. I guess this is a footer in like the and it's a footer in like the loosest context possible, I guess. In that, yes, it is technically a footer, but not really. Or a footer is always supposed to go in the body. I don't think so. Okay, let's just do the NPM part. That's a bit easier. All right, so preload this, that's fine. Okay, so you can't do that. Actually, how the heck did I do this for GPM then? Oh, actually, they're just vars, that's right. Okay. Or I guess actually I should just pass in var GPM, and then it's a GPM. Yeah. Wait. No, maybe I do want to do it like this. We'll figure it out. I'm not sure how this is going to preload though, since considering that I have to refresh all these scripts when I run them in the editor, mostly because I'm lazy. All right, give me search. Search, text changed, connect. Okay, got the auto scroller working. Nice, nice, nice. What are the other time functions? Because I don't want to have to manually handle debouncing. Get ticks milliseconds. Okay, well there we go. I think. Let me see. So this is I guess debounce. Interval. So this is an int. I believe all integers in Godot are 64-bit. So debounce interval. So text changed. And then this is last debounce ticks equals get ticks milliseconds const debounce ticks. So we're expecting 100, 200, 300, 200. Wait, how many milliseconds are in a second? I'm second to second. It's 1,000, right? Yeah, okay. So 2,000. I don't know why I had it in my head. It's like my head I was like, oh, there's just 100, right? No, absolutely not. Actually, then this should probably just be like 500. So, well, 1,000, so we don't just hammer the server. I got this auto scroller set to 5,000 milliseconds, so every 5 seconds. 5 seconds is a long time. I think like even like 3 seconds is a lot longer than you think it is when you're just sitting and waiting. But I think 3 seconds is probably pretty good. 5 seconds, surprisingly like really long. 1 second is surprisingly not long enough. I don't know, but I don't know. Just see how it feels, I guess. Right? Because when you open the page, generally what your eyes gravitate towards is the middle, because that's where all the content is, and then your eyes kind of expand to the outside. So I don't know. How long does that take most people? I have a tendency to just scan the entire page like multiple times, but that's because I'm not really reading. I'm looking for points of interest. The points where there's the most bold text, unfortunately. Text change. So last debounce ticks is equal to time get ticks. Wait. New ticks. Time get ticks milliseconds. If new ticks minus, I guess, last debounce ticks is greater than 1,000, then we want to do some sort of search. Yeah. Search bar. Search bar. Text entered. Text. This is a line edit. Line edit. Are you gonna give me code completion? Okay. That's text edit. Or as line edit, sorry. So this is text entered. Really? Text submitted. That's right. Connect. So this is more or less the same function. So actually I should break this out because it's going to be the same lambda. Well, no, it's not going to be the same lambda. I'm crazy. Search npm. All right. All right. Yeah, there we go. Well, and actually, here we go. Yeah, look at that. So I can't just use this as the callback because I think I do need to set the new ticks. So new, wait, or the last debounce ticks. Last debounce ticks. So we don't, once again, so we just don't hammer the server. Yeah, so if we debounce, we want to update. Otherwise, if you press enter, we just want to update immediately. And then we also want to, I guess, have a cooldown time. Search cooldown. So you need to have, I guess, like, honestly, it's the same thing. I don't know. I gotta think about that. Cause usually it's I'm hammering a server reliably, not based off of text submitted, but I'm just kind of thinking if you just mash enter. Well, okay. If you just mash enter, then that's fine. We can just have last search text. if text is equal to last search text, then just do nothing. And then last search text is equal to text. Yeah. So that handles that. So just in case someone was like mashing the spacebar, then that means that it won't spam their servers with bad requests. That's good. What's ready for our PR? Just gotta play with the PNG sizing for consistency. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Needed to prevent DOSing NPM. If someone were to mash the enter key. Okay. And then here, results. I think I do need to hold on to this. Yeah, results element, that's right. So this one would be like npm search text. So await. Right. Too few arguments. Expected at least 2. Oh, that's right, because I do need to have everything else. Okay, so let's pull in GPM. Const GPM is equal to preload this thing, and then this will just be GPM. And then here, then we pass in GPM net. And then this is GPM NPM. Yeah, so we just kind of pass along packages to be, so this is very close to how functional programming works, I guess. Or maybe it's not functional programming, but like C programming. So you just kind of pass along all the objects that you need. Oh, excuse me. I was about to sneeze. So search npm, it searches npm. So results, cannot infer the type, that's fine. So this is a dictionary. I guess we can have this be an async function. Maybe not. Is that not how you do it? Maybe it's fine. Oh no, that's only in Rust where you need to, it's only in Rust where you need to label it as an async function. I'm stupid, okay. Actually, do we need to await? Can't we just call it and then just let it go and do its thing? So results, and then npm search will give you a big thing like this. So it'll be just a bunch of objects. Yeah. List of dictionaries containing package.json or containing package metadata. Yeah. And for it's not a dictionary, by the way. I don't know why I thought that. Array. It's an array of dictionaries. And then this should actually give me like correct static typing as well, which is neat. So yeah, keys, but we don't need the keys. What we need is, wait, package, score, and then search score. Okay. I think I can just rely on these being in order, I guess. So it's going to be package. Data is equal to I get package. Otherwise, just give me a nothing. Is empty. Data. Data. Excuse me? Data. Please, sir. Is it empty or is it just empty? Why are you like this? Is empty. Okay, it is empty. Is empty. No code completion. That's weird. If data is empty, then continue, but also print an error. Received empty data from npm search. That shouldn't happen, but it might. Okay, and then we'll just create a, I guess a button? I don't know. What would you want this to look like? So we'd want each listing. npm search results, I guess. So give me an hbox container. Search result. Full rect. Give me this. GUI npm search result. Just slap it there. Okay. Seems good. So we have the name, we have the version, we have the description. Yeah, okay. So you have the name, version, description, last updated date. I don't know if I need that. Publisher, need that. Maintainer, need that for sure. I feel like you don't need publisher. You just need, well, I don't know. What's under publisher for this one? See, this one has author, but not every one of them has author, which is freaking me out. Publisher. There's my real email. Maintainers. That's not me. I guess publisher, yeah. So then you would need to have how many things do you need? Maybe just like a VBox container. VBox container, full rect, and then you can, I don't know, maybe have a texture rect on this side that may or may not have the icon attached to it. I don't know, actually. I need to think about that. I need to think about that. Start implementing npm search and package path modification, I guess. So we'll push that for now. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'll be live Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time working on, I don't know, honestly, probably my bot again. Because the bot needs to be finished at some point, but we'll see how my Thursday goes. A lot of meetings on Thursday. I have a lot of meetings on Wednesdays and Thursdays for whatever reason. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. It's only my Tuesdays and Fridays which are like clear. Because I feel like Tuesday... Actually, I don't know why my Tuesdays don't usually have that many meetings. Wednesdays is hump day. Thursdays for like meetings that were supposed to go on Friday, but no one wants to have meetings on Fridays. But anyways, there's a Discord in my description. There's a GitHub in my description, etc., etc. Yeah, John A. See you later. Goodbye.